Lord so proudly we hail, at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the walls bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Amen, ein Bild, Mahamir, Martian Kamil Merki, Parcerani, Voluraski, Azaduchan, Lezovi, Parcerani, Voluraski, Azaduchan, Lezovi.
خوب، بعد راست.
It's a great honor tonight for this historic event, the Pontifical visit of His Holiness Catholicos Aram I from the Great House of Cilicia. As we watch the centennial activities in Washington, D.C. and elsewhere, we heard Aram Behapar's message loud and clear. Cheap reconciliation promotes further injustice, rather true reconciliation promotes accountability. Today we heard Aram Behapar's message, your church, your nation, engage. We have a lot of work to do to engage with our youth, and we should lead by example. I want to thank Terhara Kevorkian and the local committee for supporting this and all the hard work that has gone into having this event, as well as the Armenian Apostolic Church of America, the Protestant Executive Councils and Religious Councils for making this a reality in 2015. We have a very short program. At this time, I would like to invite Ronald Haddad, Chief Police of the City of Dearborn, to the podium.
What a great night at St. Sarkis. Give yourselves a great hand, please. I'm going to be brief, but His Holiness, I think there's something I should have to say here. You know, I go all over the country talking about community involvement, about tolerance, about equality, about equity, and nothing serves a greater example than what we have here at St. Sarkis and at this campus with the rest of the churches and the mosque. And I have to tell you that this is something that Dearborn and this community should not take for granted, because they fly me all over the country to convince other people to do what you've done here. So you are truly a model for the nation. Give yourselves a hand. And I won't get into great detail, but anytime there's a national security issue that we have, the pastors from here and the other churches in the mosque. I can call them in a moment. They come to the police station. We get their advice. We take their counsel. We make our phone calls, and the world becomes a safer place. So with that, I'm very proud of St. Sarkis. His Holiness, I got a small token of appreciation for your visit. My mayor, Jack B. O'Reilly Jr., could not be here tonight, but he's asked me to stand in here, and on behalf of our 98,000 plus citizens and all the employees of the city of Dearborn, to welcome you, to tell you that we are deeply honored that you're here and that the world is a better place because you visited Dearborn. We have a saying here, one team, one mission, one Dearborn, and you've made us a stronger community today, so thank you and welcome.
Erskine for that wonderful performance. At this time, I would like to invite the pastor of St. Sarkis Armenian Apostolic Church, Der Haran Kevorkian, to the podium, please.
Նորին Սուրբ Օծություն դեր Արամ առաջին կաթողիկոս Սրբազան հայրեր ոգեշնոր հայր Սուրբեր եւ սիրելի ժողովուրդ։ Բարի եկած եք բոլորը այս հիշատակելի պատմական արիթին ներկա գտնվելու։ Ուզեմ բարեկալուստի խոսքը ուղղել վեհապար հոր, վեհապար դեր վերջին Ձեր երևումները, որ ունեցաք համաշխարհային բեմերեն, մեր ժողովրդի համար մեծ հպարտանք էր։ Մենք բոլորս ուրախ ենք, որ ցեզի պես ղեկավար ունենք, որ իսկապես ղեկավարը իր հոդը ոչ թե միայն խոսքով, այլ իր ամբողջ աշխատանքներով։ Եվ այդ բոլորին համար ուզեմ քաղուտի կողմէ ցեզ մեր խորին շնորհակալությունները հայտնել։ Այս ամիտով նաև վեհապար դեպի աղոթենք ձեր առողջության համար, ձեր երկար կյանքի համար, որպեսզի կարենաք այս ձեզ վստահված խոդը առաջնորդել դեպի հավիտենականություն։ Այս ամիտով I just welcomed His Holiness and thanked him for all he does for our nation as Armenians. And in the past few weeks, we had a lot of parishioners who came close to ask questions that we can address and ask Vehapar and see what his response will be to all of our questions. And especially the first and main question comes to us, asking Vehapar about the 100th anniversary of the genocide and all the events that took place, and most especially the recent lawsuit that we heard about, that the Catholicosiate of Cilicia is raising a lawsuit against the Turkish government, asking for our rights, asking for our sees, Catholicosiate, the monastery and the cathedral. So what can you tell us, Your Holiness, how can you tell us more details about this lawsuit?
Let me give a brief and a clear answer to this question. I think we should not look at this, what is called the lawsuit, in a legal perspective, and in fact within a narrow context. It must be seen on a broader historical background and within the framework of the struggle of the Armenian people for their legitimate rights. In fact, our rights are violated. We went through a bitter experience of genocides. And genocide, according to international law, is a crime against humanity. This is what we are endeavoring to remind the international community, that the genocide has happened against the Armenian people. And it wasn't something by accident. It was a well-planned and systematically executed genocide against the Armenians by the Ottoman government of the time. In the last 100 years, we remembered our martyrs, and we worked hard for the recognition of this genocide. As you well know, some countries have formally accepted the genocide, and other countries have not yet accepted the genocide. And I firmly believe that sooner or later the international community as a whole will accept a genocide. A genocide is a genocide. Even if we try for different reasons, for different considerations, to label the genocide with different names, it is a genocide. This is what the history reminds us. Therefore, under 100 years, we taught, our church, the Pontifical State of Cilicia taught, that it is a high time that we take a legal action. Thousands of Armenian churches and monasteries, religious sites, church-related, community-related, humanitarian, social, ecclesiastical centers, institutions have been confiscated by the government of Turkey. In view of this situation, as a church, as a nation, we cannot and we should not remain silent. These properties belong to our people. We should claim our ownership. This is what we should do it together. This is our problem. This is our cause. Therefore, we must continue this process. As I said in Washington, in the presence of the Vice President of this great country of the United States of America, that we are with reconciliation. But as you were just reminded, we are against a cheap reconciliation. Cheap reconciliation generates further injustice. And reconciliation means that those who have committed crime must accept the crime. And on the basis of these acceptance, forgiveness, that is to say, reconciliation process starts. And that is why Turkey should reconcile with its own past by accepting the genocide. Today, the officers know very well, if one person kills the other person, it's a crime. And all those who have committed crime must assume the responsibility. That is to say, accountability. And a nation, you see, has undergone this terrible experience of genocide. And that is why it is our expectation, as I said, that the international community, you see, formally accept the genocide, and recognition of genocide implies accountability, and accountability means reparation. Therefore, in conclusion, our lawsuit is not a case demanding a small parcel of land in Sis, in Turkey. No, I think we need to see it within a broader perspective. That should become the first legal step forward. We must continue this process. We want our churches and monasteries back. 2 years ago, the Congress of the United States of America passed a resolution, return of the confiscated churches of minorities in Turkey, and we are part of it. The government of Turkey should assume the responsibility by returning the confiscated churches of all minorities, in fact, including the Armenian community.